Let's see, what is this? Okay. Take this off. Okay. Here, so that's fine. Let's see. Goodness. Okay, so hello, my name is Tam. Artemis Oracle is my channel. I'm an Oracle and Tarot card reader. So I'm gonna get started with a love situations reading just to see what comes out. This damn cloth keeps moving. Let's see what messages you need to know at this time. This way, highest and greatest good. What messages does the collective need to know with regards to love? Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Let's see. Let me also check something too. Okay, have audio. Okay. So let's see what messages we get for love situations for the collective. For the collective. What messages does the collective need to know at this time? What messages does the collective need to know at this time? Ooh, cut out. Cutting ties and separation, leaving before it gets worse, cutting your losses. Okay, so some of you are giving somebody the axe. Oh, a card. No, I'm not taking that one. Let's see. Cutting ties and separation before it gets worse. There's so many cards in this deck. Let's see. Cut out. So some of you are giving somebody the axe. You're cutting somebody out of your life. You're no longer engaging. You're detaching from somebody. Since it says leaving before it gets worse, for some of you, it could have been a situation that has been degrading over time and hasn't shown any signs of improvement. So you may have been putting in your effort to try to make things work out too, and now you're realizing you have to cut your losses, you know? Or it could be somebody that you're dealing with that may be in this cutting out energy, this cutout energy. Anything else? What else? Then we have all around them. Can't escape connection, telepathic experiences, your love. So some of you may have cut somebody off, but their energy still lingers. I have the pregnancy card coming out. Getting pregnant, building family, giving birth to something. And love's growth. Love that grows with time needs time to grow unexpected lessons in love. I don't know if this is a relationship where some of you maybe have had a child with this person, or you are pregnant with this person's baby, but you're realizing that the situation that you're in probably wouldn't be a good place for you or your child. So some of you may be in this place where you're deciding it's better for you to go your separate ways, to cut ties with somebody, or even just ending the relationship so that you can just make sure that you and your baby are okay. But another thing too is that some of you're already reached whatever peak your relationship was supposed to do. It gestated to you were supposed to grow from this relationship. So the fact that these cards came out together is another way of me reading this, is that some of you maybe have been in a relationship, it reached its peak, and there's no changes, there's no improvement, and it's now starting to degrade. And whatever you were supposed to learn, whatever experience you were supposed to go through, you've already reached it, and it's now time for you to move on. And maybe that's something that you have already realized. So the pregnancy card could actually mean someone actually is pregnant, had been pregnant, but feels like whatever connection they're in, it's not working out. So go back to what I said if you're not sure. I don't want to keep repeating myself. Okay. Is there anything else? So I'm gonna put that back in the deck. Hi Mick, how are you? So let's see what other messages we get. I'm not sure how that was. Okay, let's see what else comes out. What other messages is likely to know? That's too many cards. I'll take this one. Against rushing before it's too late. Took a long time, walking on thin ice. Thin ice. Walking on thin ice. All right. Walking on thin ice. Okay. Why does somebody feel like they're rushed? Somebody's feeling rushed. Like there's some sort of deadline. I don't know if this is some ultimatum someone may have given somebody, or there's an actual deadline. Like maybe somebody's leaving, departing, maybe traveling, going to be away for a significant amount of time, even moving. So the person may feel like whatever, I don't know, realization or something they're realizing that the clock is ticking against them. Let me see. Hi, Shantae. How are you? So work, focused on work, working hard hours, long hours, love at work. Okay. So it's interesting. Is somebody trying to rush? Oh, no, I'm not thinking somebody's trying to rush. I don't know. Maybe, all right. Okay. Remember I was saying that that somebody feels like the time is ticking. Maybe, all right. Say if some of you met somebody from work, one of you may be leaving. Or let me just make this broad. Someone feels like they're feeling rushed because if they had some sort of love relationship, even possibly a crush on somebody, and they're realizing that their crush may be leaving the job if it's a work crush, because we do have the work card here. And it says love at work. And this is a love reading. For some of you, for someone feels like the clock is ticking against them because somebody may be leaving. Maybe they're leaving to another job, maybe even traveling for another job, moving to, you know how some people, they get opportunities where they get to work for a company, but it's a different location, maybe in a different country or a different state or something, but somebody feels like the time is running, it's against them. I want to know what this is. Like they don't want to miss the opportunity for something. Yeah, the permanent ending, no more chances, goodbye to the old. Yeah, I think somebody's realizing that something is coming to a close, something is ending. if there was like a love relationship at work, or even if, like I said, a crush. Maybe somebody is feeling like if they don't express how they feel about someone, that they will lose that chance. They will never have the chance again, because then the person will be gone. The person would have left, you know? Oh, wow. I'm good, Shantae. Hi, Harry. Wow, okay, so, yes, so, let's see. What's the card? Nah, I don't think that goes with it. I don't think that goes with it. I'm just gonna, I saw a card that flipped over and I'm gonna share it anyway. It says habitual liar, constant lying, can't hide in lies anymore, lies exposed. That could be totally separate energy. Or somebody could be a liar. That was just a weird random card that flipped over, but I feel like someone may be lying about something. But it could be totally separate energy. Some of you could be dealing with a totally different energy where they're just a liar. And some of you may be cutting ties with this person. Oh, for real? Oh my God. Okay. Hi, Carolyn. Okay. He is a liar. All right. That's so funny. That card came out like, this is so random. But I'm like, okay, but it might resonate with somebody, because sometimes we do deal with people who are liars, regardless if it's at work or life, just like outside of work. Oh my gosh. That is so funny, Harry. Oh my God. What am I tapping into? Okay, let's see how this, all right. Let's see whose message, if this resonates with, continues to resonate with Harry or anybody else. Because we all deal with liars at some point in our lives. All right. But that's it, against time, walking on thin lice. I keep saying thin lice. Did somebody have lice? Did somebody get lice? Does somebody have crabs? I'm thinking about crabs. Oh my gosh. All right. So if there's a time constraint, or just let's find out what this against time card is, what this is about. Because I'm going by what the card says, but then also trying to find a deeper meaning behind it. But let's see what tarot says. Yeah, somebody has been taking some sort of risk. May have been acting out foolishly. Because I got the Fool card coming out. I think like they don't have a care in the world. But if it's against time and you're feeling rushed, you know, sometimes people procrastinate, they dilly-dally, they like act like the time doesn't matter, like it doesn't, like they don't have time constraints, that there are no deadlines, that they'll just do things when they feel like doing it rather than when it's regardless of a deadline or due date or something like that. So maybe somebody's realizing, yeah, they may have been like, oh, whatever, like just nonchalant, and then they're realizing, yeah, no, that was a bad move. Like they would, like it says, it took a long time. It could just simply be this person just wasn't being, I'm gonna say it was disrespectful, may have been wasting time too. Okay, we got the Ace of Cups. I feel like somebody was wasting someone's time. Wasting somebody's time, wasting their energy, taking it for granted, possibly. Oh, excuse me. Let me have 2 of Cups and 8 of Wands. That's interesting. Taking somebody's love for granted. This could have been a connection that could have moved very quickly too. Like, I don't know if somebody said I love you very fast, or someone's taking their sweet time telling somebody they love them. It could be that, because we're saying that against time. Somebody may be feeling rushed to tell somebody that they love them. But hopefully this person means it, because we do have the habitual liar. So I don't know if somebody was lying about how they felt about somebody. Were they lying about loving somebody or not, or denying the fact that they did love somebody? You know what I mean? Hi, Vixen. How are you? Let's see what else comes out. Since we do have the habitual liar card here, somebody could have been juggling, maybe dealing with you or somebody else, if that resonates with you. They could have tried to start something new with you while they were already in a connection, is another thing. And they may have been somebody who's been trying to rush you into something. It could be that. It could be somebody who's trying to rush somebody into something. And sometimes when people do that, they tend to lie. They say what they think they need to say to get what they want, you know, even possibly lying about emotions. For some of you, you may have been just minding your business, just doing your own thing, and then this person comes out of nowhere, tries to start something up with you. Possibly it moves quickly, you know, or this person was trying to rush you into something, you know. And if it was that kind of connection, then, and it did happen within the workplace, it doesn't have to be at work, but it says it was, because it could be somebody who's a workaholic. And if I read this a different way too, not like somebody's in a third party situation or just trying to rush you into something just so they could get what they want, possibly juggling, you know what I mean? This could be somebody who's realizing they're missing an opportunity, and I'm reading this in a more positive sense, you know, and someone is realizing that they're going to miss an opportunity, right? That an ending or closing may be happening, and that whatever chance that they have to express something may not be coming because somebody may be moving on, right? So that could be what somebody may be feeling rushed to do, like say, communicate, you know, but they could be juggling, like trying to figure out how to do it, you know, or maybe they've wasted a lot of time trying to figure out how to express their emotions to someone. But yeah. Constantly lying, can't hide the lies anymore, lies exposed. I feel like you're not telling the whole truth, that you're telling a whole lie. Half truths are whole lies, you know? Yeah, so some of you, if you are already dealing with somebody and, like I said, may have been juggling, then you already are the person that's deciding to cut the person out, you know? Probably caught this person in a lot of lies. You probably saw a lot of inconsistency with everything that they said to you. They may have contradicted themselves in the communication, and that's how they expose their lies. You know, people do that. You know, you say one thing and then you say another thing, and it contradicts the first thing that you said. And then it's like, for some of you, it could be that, right? And in that sense, some of you may be closing out this cycle with this person, and that's where the full energy comes in, right? See, and I'm reading this in multiple ways because everybody's situation is totally different. Hi, Sarah. Okay. You know what's funny? I'm not. Let me stick to the reading. Thank you. I appreciate the compliments. So some of you may be closing out the cycle with somebody, and this is where the full energy is. You're going to be moving towards taking care of yourself, focusing more so on yourself, and probably waiting for someone new to come in. Meet somebody new, someone who aligns with you, somebody who wants the same thing in a relationship and a connection, right? And I think, you know, like they usually say this, if you're dealing with someone you're not supposed to be dealing with, once you cut that person off, once you cut them out, and which is something that came out earlier in the reading, cutting out, I mean, I did a first, there was a first reading, and not many people were here to see it. I don't think anybody was here to see the first reading, where the cutout card. Some of you may be cutting this person out, and then what you essentially are doing is basically opening up a space for someone to come in, the person that's meant to come in. And this person may be coming in quickly, you know? And this could probably put you in this place where you're like trying to figure out, like, okay, you know, it may throw you off a little bit, throw you off kilter is what I want to say. And you may be like, if you're just coming out of this situation and you're realizing this person may be coming, new person, this new love interest may be coming in, you might look back on whatever situation you just cut out, and then that could put you in your head a little bit, make you a little bit uncertain about moving forward with this person. I would just say, for me personally, it's like, it doesn't hurt to take time, you know, like whoever is meant for you, they won't try to rush you into anything. They won't try to manipulate you into anything. They will be respectful of your boundaries, just as much as I hope you would be of theirs, right? So that you can have this fair and balanced relationship, which is what, you know, Two of Pentacles is. It's about finding balance, finding common ground, you know? So if you feel like you have to hold back, that's never a bad thing, especially when you're starting something new, because you don't want to overinvest in something that ends up crumbling, or ends up, like in a previous situation, if it was something that moved very quickly, you don't want to end up in a situation where it's like you are repeating the past, Yeah. So I split the deck, but then this card, and then this card too. I don't know if the past relationship was like burdensome in some way, because I imagine if it's at work, it might become uncomfortable too, because you get to see this person and it might stress you out too. And imagine, this is like side message, imagine the new person you meet is also from work, is also at work. And then you're like, oh shit, oh my God. Like, but then it's like, you can't worry, you can't stress, you can't get anxious about it, But also, this is about, like, if this is a past situation too, and now you may be meeting somebody who is in alignment to what you want. This is also about you, like, quelling your fears, like not letting your fears interfere with the connection, you being brave and, giving somebody a chance or opening up, but not opening up so much where, you end up in repeating a situation. You end up being, overthinking and trapped in your thoughts. So this is something that you need to look out for. Also, maintain an open mindset too when this person. Don't try to peg them, put them in a box of somebody else. If you're don't compare them, especially if they're totally different. I mean, of course, if you see things that remind you of the past, then clock it, but give the person a fair shake, is what I want to say, but also give them opportunities so that you can see different parts of them, and that allows you to see if this is a person that's repeating the same behaviors that a previous person has, or if it's just totally different, just to avoid any confusion. Just let them show you who they are, and don't allow the past burdens to interfere with the relationship. If this habitual liar work situation resonates with you too. Okay. Were you one of those people that like the Control Alt Delete post? I saw that. I was like, oh, that's cool. They sell that in Target, but I was like, I'm not gonna pay for that. I'm gonna screenshot it and post it. Let's see. So that's that reading. Let me see what else comes out. So that's that love situation. Oh, remember we saw the liar card? I looked at the bottom of the deck. I don't know, this person made a lot of promises. They were just saying, we're going to do this, we're going to go there, I'm going to buy you that. Have you ever seen that thing on Instagram where the person's like with a clown costume? And they're with the clown costume. Excuse me, my throat was like, Anyway, and the person's like opening a can. I actually have a can here. She's like, I just love the taste of nothing. I don't know if that was that person you were dealing with. They were just telling you all the shit that they thought, yeah, we're gonna go there and then we're gonna do all these things. And then, like getting your hopes up. But then this motherfucker was a liar. He was lying, May have even been toxic. May have been a love bummer. Look at that. Hi, Snow. All talk but no game, right? Like all talk but no action. Yeah, but it's like once you get through this, makes me think of that song from Daniel Bedingfield. I think is I'm gonna get through this. I'm gonna get through this. Just made me think about that. But see, once you get like overcome this past situation, this toxic love bombing lying bastard situation. And she could be a bastard too. It could be a he bastard or a she bastard, all right? Soulmate. The soulmate is coming in. There's a soulmate. You just got to get rid of the trash. I don't do those types of readings, no. I only answer yes or no questions. And I haven't started that portion of the reading. Haitian baby, I get it. You're my new stalker. The trash out the door. Yes. Is that a door emoji? I was talking to somebody and I'm laughing because this person that's in love with me in the chat has you see the profile picture, and I was talking to the person that I don't like seeing that. I don't want to see that, and then this person has that profile picture. I'm like, oh. Oh my gosh. All right, let's see what we get. I remember there was a reader. She was like, stop with the creepy comments. Stop with the creepy comments. And she's young. She's like my kid's age. I think she's in her early 20s. I don't know how old she is, honestly. I know she's in her 20s. And, she's so beautiful, too. So I think I'm going to have to block somebody. I'm going to have to put them in a timeout. Yes, it's over for you, Haitian baby. You got to go. The cycle of your stalking and spamming is about to end. It's funny because I timed the person out for 24 hours and it says that the person's timed out for 86,000 seconds. Why is this 86,000 seconds? They could have easily put 24 hours, 86,000 seconds. They really want the person to know. That seems like an eternity, right? Like it was the end for Haitian baby. I know. Ew. No. Don't call me that's gross. It's all kinds of nasty. The feet, the mommy, everything. Like, who wants to see feet like this? You know, like, what the hell is that? Looking like it's lubed up with baby oil. Like someone's gonna stick it somewhere, you know? Oh my God. Okay. All right. So let's see. So I can answer yes or no questions now. If anybody has a yes or no question. I hope I brought those cards. I think I did. Please tell me. Oh, yes, I did. Okay, thank God. All right, because I like the specific deck for yes or no questions. Let me reset the deck. So if anybody has a yes or no question, you can put it in the chat. Since those are the only questions I answer, because I can go, like when I do reading, like an actual reading, you see what I do. And to do that for each person, I'm gonna know. Look at 6-9. So let's see. Because wait, I gotta make sure the card is okay. Oh, that's fun. The Hierophant and the High Priestess was together. Interesting. Just so you know, I only answer one question per person. Because I had somebody else, they were like ODing. They made it seem like Artemis Oracle was their channel. So I only answer one question per person. Okay. All right, so I see Harry's question. Okay, is Jerome planning to make a move towards Harry? This damn thing keeps moving. It's driving me crazy. My phone there. Okay. Harry and Jerome. Harry and Jerome. Is Jerome planning to make a move towards Harry in the near future? Is Jerome? I'm gonna take that because I feel like it's relevant. I don't know if, like, you got the 10 of Swords, but it's like a yes. I don't know if he's closing something out, somebody's closing something out, something has to end before he can make a move, but I feel like yes, it's a yes, but I feel like, I don't know if he's dealing with anybody, and the reason why I'm saying that is because I see the Five of Pentacles in reverse, and I feel like if he is, maybe he's talking to somebody else. I don't know, like, you know, you're just, because when you're not in a committed relationship, you can't talk to other people. You know, there's no rule that you can't talk to other people if you're talking to someone. You know what I mean? But I don't know if he is talking to somebody, but that he's going to probably stop talking to someone. Someone needs to stop talking to someone. Something's going to end. Something's going to close out. Or however this 10 of Swords is an ending. But I feel like somebody's going to be feeling left out in the cold. In the bottom. That's in the bottom of the deck. Because I see this. In the reverse. But I feel like it's a yes, but I will also say this is another thing too. Hopefully this person doesn't like make a move on you and then pull back. So I would say beware. And the reason why is because I'm saying this too. It could be like somebody's gonna feel left out in the cold, but hopefully it's not gonna be you if he does make a move and then it doesn't go well, or he regrets it. Somebody regrets it, or it could even be you. You know, you want to pull back. He wants to pull back. You know, that's something that I can think of, because if you look at this is what I'm thinking. It could be. That's why I was like, I have to add that. It could be you get left out in the cold, or it could be somebody else that gets left out in the cold. Okay, so I would say proceed with caution with him. I hope that helps, Harry. Okay, yeah. Yeah, because at first I was like, well, I was like, yeah, I would say beware. You know, sometimes things are just meant to be what it is and not anything more. And sometimes somebody can make a move, but they may not have the best intentions too. They may have an underlying motive. Okay, no question. Is there some year-round snow? There's some. I think, like, because I'm not sure what you mean, snow, because I could read that in so many different ways. Like, I don't know if you mean if there's somebody like projecting energy onto you, or if you mean if it's like telepathic too, is somebody trying to reach out to you telepathically, that type of thing. Can you be more specific with your question, Snow? It's okay, but I just need you to clarify your question, because like, what do you mean by someone's energy? Like, are you talking about like someone's trying to, but you say human, so you mean somebody that's alive, like, or ghost? Because a ghost isn't human anymore, you know. So they were, maybe they were never human. Because remember, ghost dog, like animals could be ghosts too. If you had a pet, they could be a ghost. I believe that. Hi, Teresa. How are you? So a living person, though. Like, so is someone living trying to reach out to you, like telepathically? I just want to make sure, because I want to know how to ask. Oh my God, I know. I try to get I understand this, because I like very specific questions so that we could get very specific answers. That's how I've known the yes and no's to work with me. I just want to make sure that I'm reading it correctly. So a human, live person. Okay. So is someone, I don't know what you're doing. Okay, yeah, okay. I get it. Like you want to know if somebody's trying to contact you, and energetically. Hi, Jerry. I'm going to say, I think it's Jerry. Hi, Jerry. How are you? No, it's okay. It's just, like, I got to be careful, though, because if I am harping on you too much, then I can't, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do this. Okay. okay. I just want to read your question correctly, but I have to be careful though, because if I harp on you, and then I don't want the readings just to be about you in the future. So then I'm gonna have to start the live all over again. All right. So let's see. Is someone trying to reach snow energetically? Is someone trying to contact snow in the etheric realm? Is someone trying to communicate, contact snow in the etheric realm? It's saying yes. You got a yes. And it could be somebody that you may have closed out a cycle with, but I'm also going to read some signs because I see signs in the world card. It shows the fixed signs. So it could be an Aries, not Aries. Well, so I was going to say Aries, but I don't mean Aries, but it could be an Aries, Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus, or Leo person. You got the communication card too with the swords. Yeah, there is somebody that is trying to communicate with you. And it could be an air sign as well. I did say Aquarius. So it could be an Aquarius. But it could be any air sign too. But yeah, that seems to be like someone who may be trying to contact you energetically. I hope that helps you, Snow. You're welcome. Okay, so Jerry, will he, because that's how Jerry refers to him, his name is he, will he reach out to Jerry? Will he message Jerry? Will he message Jerry? Will he message Jerry? Will he? So I think, Snow, you're new here. So if you're new, thank you for joining. Thank you for being here. Okay. Will he reach Jerry? Will he message Jerry? Goodness. Will he message Jerry? Will he reach Jerry? Will he message Jerry? Will he contact Jerry? Will he message Jerry? Will he message Jerry? Will he message Jerry? Will he message Jerry? It's saying yes. But it looks like he's... It's saying, you got a yes here. Yeah. He's gonna message you. But it looks like he's waiting. It could be him too that's waiting. He may be waiting for you to reach out to him. I want to say he may be looking out for your message, or this could be you looking out for his message. But I feel like there's somebody that's just like, I don't know how this connection is between you and him, Jerry, but this person looks like they're stressed, or this could be your energy. But it's saying yes. I would say if you're waiting and you've been stressed out about him reaching out to you, don't worry. He is gonna reach out to you. All right? Don't stress it. Don't work yourself up, okay? Don't waste your energy. Okay, Jerry? So because you got two yeses, and the page is a messenger too. But this page is more like observant and learning. So this person may be watching you too before they reach out. I hope that helps you, Jerry. No, I don't have a blog. I do want to create a website. I do. But no, I don't have a blog. Does anybody else have a yes or no question? Because then I could do another collective reading. And I'm going to tell you, anyone who's near, don't be like, look at me, I asked a question. I don't like that. You do that, you go bye-bye. I'm not that desperate for subscribers, okay? All right? So please don't do that. For your sake, don't do that. All right. Does anybody else have a yes or no question they'd like to ask? Thank you for their hearts. Okay, Dana. Will Dana get the break she needs soon? Dana, I'm assuming you're a female. I know, God, can men have the name Dana? I think they can. I could be wrong, but I'm assuming you're a feminine, Dana. Will Dana get the break they need? Since I'm not sure anymore. Okay. Will Dana get the break she needs? Will Dana get the break she needs soon? Oh my gosh. Look, you got the good cup. The Ace of Cups. It's a yes. It's a yes. Yes. You asked for a break. Look at the Queen of Swords. It's about breakthroughs. She's about breakthroughs. Breakthroughs in communication, breakthroughs with ideas or thoughts. But with the Ace of Cups, yes. Yes, 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 yes. You got 2 yeses. I hope that helps you, Dana. The most important thing is always, it's important to remain optimistic, because I can't tell you the number of times when I've been in a negative place and all the negative shit that came to me. And everything is also a test of faith and patience. I did a reading earlier today and I was talking about patience, and then the card that came out was patience. It was so funny. And it was one of those timing oracle decks. Oh yeah, could you do a timing reading? Okay, does anybody else have a question? Because I would like to do another general reading. And that's where the true test is. That's where the breakthrough is going to come in. Are you going to get to the point where you're like, F it, I give up. That's where, I'm going to, every time I think of this, about the giving up, it's like you're so close. And it's that mime, not mime, oh my God. The person is in a diamond mine, right? They keep trying to chip away, but they reach that point where they're about to give up. They're about to give up, but they're so close. So this is where the true test is for you, Dana. When you're at that breaking point where you feel like giving up, or you're losing patience, this is where you really need to dig deep and keep pushing forward, But also, if you feel like that too, just detach from the outcome too. Just I know it's gonna come, well, I don't need to worry. It's gonna come to me, and it's like that detachment is what drops all the obstacles, the blockages and stuff. And I'm telling you from my own personal experience, that has happened. So it's just continue to have faith and don't lose patience. Don't lose hope. When I do general reading, it's for the collective. So it's not answering anybody's question. It's just a collective reading for everyone. And it may not resonate with everybody. There may be certain messages that you may need to hear, or certain messages that someone else needs to hear. So it doesn't resonate with everybody. But the thing is, that means you're constantly thinking about it. So that means you're attached to an outcome. So that's where you need to detach. When you detach, you're like, I know it's coming. Then you move on. Distract yourself, but healthy distractions, productive distractions. I'm gonna use an example. They say, one person says this about love, but I don't like using the love example. What I like to think is I like to use the apartment example, where say you're wanting to move, you want a new home, you want a new place. You start envisioning, you start imagining yourself having what you want, as it, but or you act as if you already have it. So you act like you already have what you want, and you're putting yourself in that energy. Like, if I don't know what you're looking for, but whatever it is that you want, imagine you already have it and start acting like it's already yours. You know, and I think that's one way you could do it too. Another is, um, I was gonna use it like moving to a house. Like, you say you're gonna move to a new apartment or new home, you start acting like you start packing, you start decluttering. You're like, you know what? If I'm gonna be moving, so let me see what things I want to take with me and what things I need to get rid of. So it's like you're taking the action as if it's already yours. So it's just a matter of like the mindset. If you're worried about it not coming through, that's where the stress and anxiety is going to come in and take over. And then that's where, that kind of lowers the vibration. But if you act as if you already have it, you start acting like you're already in it, like you have it already, and like you're becoming an embodiment of it, and then it comes to you. But I'm trying to simplify it with different ways, but it's a matter of you detaching to, like, oh my God, like someone says, it's a reader, his channel is called The Awakening. And he says you have to act as if you have something, and which is true, which is what I do too. I act as if I have something, and then it comes to me. But another thing is, he says that when you act like you don't have it, that's the negativity. It's the lack mindset. Because if you're saying you don't have what you want, then you're essentially like creating that energy that you're missing something, that there's a void, and that can create a blockage too. So this is where the detachment has to come in. Like, this is all about law of attraction. I believe in that. I feel like more so the law of attraction works with your energy. So if you're in a like worried, stressed, impatient energy, hopeless energy, then that's negative energy. That's low vibrational energy. But if you're more in a positive energy, remember, negative energy is very heavy. It's dense. It hits the ground. But when you're in a more lighter energy, more happier, more hopeful, optimistic, and not like crazy delulu, I'm lying to myself about my house burning down because it's okay, my house is burning down. I don't like that toxic positivity. No, it's just about thinking that things are going to work out. Things are going to be okay. Yeah, my house is burning down. I'll go, throw some water on it, but then the fire's going to go out, but I know I'm going to be okay after that. It's a matter of trying to be more optimistic, and happy energy, joyful energy, positive energy tends to be lighter. And then the best way to even look at it too is, when like you're feeling really good and then somebody says the nastiest shit, how it could bring you down if you let it. It's because that nastiness, that negativity is so heavy, and somehow it has more weight than positive energy, but it's a matter of how strong are you? Like, are you going to let every negative thing get you down, or are you just going to like look at it as an obstacle that you're going to break through anyway? You know what I mean? I'm trying to like explain it in different ways, because it may not only be Dana that needs to hear it, it may be somebody else that needs to hear it too. Yeah, like where I work, there was a student, and I'm hoping everything works out for him. There was an issue, and he was worried, and I told him, just think about the best outcome. Think about what you want to happen, the good thing, the best case scenario. That's what you have to think about, the best case scenario. And sometimes the things that we want to, that we're still like attached to getting, it may not be even as valuable as whatever may be coming towards you. Like I gave the example of like the housing thing. Like, if anybody knows anything about New York City and the housing, you always hear like some of the housing is not the best, or at least I think things are changing now, but the housing conditions weren't the best when it comes to public housing, NYCHA. And I got upset because I was essentially, they were like saying that I couldn't move into a housing because of back rent. And back then, I was receiving public assistance, receiving help to pay for rent, and then I was paying portion of the rent. At that time, I was married, so me and my husband at that time were paying the rent. You know, we were like very like low income. Like, I'm not saying I'm high income. I'm nowhere near high income or even mid like, income, but I feel like I'm in a good place compared to where I used to be. And I was crying about moving into NYCHA and what NYCHA was. I'm like, sometimes they don't really take public housing. You can look it up. Look up public housing in New York, you know, or anywhere. I think it's anywhere. But then I was like, you know what? Something better is gonna come along, and it did. I ended up moving to an apartment that was brand new. Nobody ever lived in it. It was a brand new building, brand new apartment. Rent was cheaper than it was like half the rent I was paying in the apartment I was living in that I couldn't even barely pay because we were so broke. And at that time I was a full-time student. I was working part-time and you know but on public assistance. So it was just like something I could use to help me until I could get on my feet, you know, and I could like start a career, you know, start making money on my own, you know. And I don't dog at anybody who receives public assistance, you know, because it's very helpful for people who are in difficult situations and they need help, you know. But the goal is to get them to become financially independent and taking care of themselves and paying their own bills and all that stuff, you know. But the whole point of the story is I was crying and begging crying about some apartment that I may have moved into where there would have been a lot of crime. It may have been unsafe, may have been infested, deal with that type of energy where I was like, you know what, something better is coming along. And it did. So I'm using that as an example, you know, and that was me detaching from an outcome that I thought was going to be beneficial to my family, but I ended up getting something better than I ever expected, you know. So this is the whole point of me sharing that, you know, just so you could get an idea. And this is for anybody who needs to hear that. Anyone who feels like giving up hope, you know, it's all about being optimistic and also detaching, because sometimes what you want, you're blocking whatever it is that you truly deserve, you know, what's really good for you, what's really meant for you, you know. I know I went on a little speech. Okay. I don't do those readings, sorry. So you can stop spamming the chat. I only answer yes or no questions. So if it's not a yes or no question, I'm not answering it. Okay. Let me drink my drink. I like to share that because somebody may need to hear it. Something better could come along for you. Sometimes we don't know what's good for us until we see what good can come to us. Okay, I can answer that question. Okay. Will Rashi pick one? I'm gonna answer the first one about the feelings. Oh, I'm glad I hope it helps you, Dana. I hope it helps you. Okay, so let me answer Pixies and then, because I know Pixie X first, and then I'll answer the question about Rashi. Okay. Oh, wrong card, sorry. No, I don't. Those cards are not for yes or no, ever. Reunion possible between Raghav and Shipra. Is reunion possible between Raghav and Shipra? It's saying yes. It's just as long as you and Raghav, I don't know which one. Whether you and Raghav have clear, honest, open communication, and you're transparent with each other. You're not hiding anything. You're open. So as long as you and him have open communication, then yeah. So communication is very important. So when that communication happens, and I don't know who needs to reach out. This is my belief, and you could take it with a grain of salt. If you're the person that messed up, then you reach out. If they messed up, then they should reach out. That's how I see it, you know? But it's looking like just as long as the first thing is communication. It's possible, but communication needs to start. Yeah. Yeah. Communication needs to start. I hope that helps, Pixie. Okay, so let's answer Rashi's. Will Rashi and Arsh reunite? Will Rashi and Arsh... Oh, look at that. You got a sun card. So it's saying yes, that Rashi and Arsh will reunite with the sun card. Yeah, it's gonna be a nice positive reunion. It's gonna be a positive reunion. But yeah, somebody needs to drop the burdens though. Drop the bullshit. Whatever is blocking it. Yeah, this is the negative though. It's like somebody needs to drop the BS. That needs to go. It's possible, but it's like whatever is blocking you, whatever's being the burden, whatever has been interfering, that needs to be removed. That needs to be dropped. Whatever was going on before, you have to move past it, or you have to release it. You're welcome, Pixie. The best way to remove negative thoughts and emotions is focusing on the things you want. Focusing on the things you want. Do you want negativity? No? So think about all the good things that you want. That's the best way. That's the best way. I'm still learning how to do that. It gets easier over time, and it's getting easier for me. Be patient with yourself. You know, I would say that much. You're welcome. You just answered your own question. You said she unblocks you, then she gets vulnerable and then retreats. She's afraid. She's afraid. I understand her because I'm like that too, you know? I don't know what negativity is, but this is what I'm going to say to anyone who is dealing with negativity. Where are you negative? Because the negativity comes from you too. It's not only outside of you. The only way you can attract negativity is because you're being negative yourself. I'm going to be honest. You know, if you're always focusing on what could go wrong, why you don't have something, you're not happy with your life, you feel like everybody's against you. If you have that victim mentality, then yeah, the universe is gonna be like, here, I'm gonna give you more crap, because that's all you're dishing out. So that's what the universe gives you back in return. So you have to be. So you have to focus more so on what you want rather than what you don't want. You want negativity, you're going to keep getting that negativity. If you want positive stuff, then you got to focus on the positive. That's the first thing. So you have to focus on what you want. Because I see it with somebody. They're always thinking about the negative, and I see so much shit happen to them. I'm like, bro, I'm telling you, you got to stop thinking that way. Because I'm seeing in real time. You talk shit and then more shit comes to you. So stop talking shit. No. And the thing, if you're afraid she's going to choose somebody else, then she's not for you. Let her choose somebody else. Don't get stuck waiting for somebody who may not want you. Imagine there's somebody that is not afraid, someone who won't run away and that wants to be with you, you know? And fear is negativity. Fear is negative energy. Think of the devil. Your fear is your devil. It's controlling you. Let me see if I find the devil card. I'm going to show you so you can see a picture. This is the devil. This is you. You're letting your fear, your devil is fear. You're letting your fear control you. You see the chains? It's like a prison. You're imprisoning yourself. No, because fear is your thoughts. This is your fear on drugs now. This is your brain on drugs. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just thought of that stupid ad. This is your brain on drugs. The fact that I said that, some of you are addicted to it. You may be addicted because it's all you're used to. You gotta break the habit. You know, I'm sorry. Just make me laugh. I'm just imagining the pan with the eggs. I don't know if they showed that in the US. I mean, it's only in the US. The frying pan with the eggs. But yeah, like your fear, the devil is, people like to think it's a demon. Like it's a demon. Yeah, it is a demon. Fear is your demon. Fear, insecurity, thinking you're not enough, the thoughts, those negative things. You know, it's not some monster, you know. It's a monster you created. It's a monster that you were taught, you know. So you have to cut the chains, the things that keep you bound to your fear, you know. And like this, the devil is negativity, you know. So it's how to remove fear and insecurity. Like I said, you have to keep focusing on the positive. You know, if I'm not, you know, you can use Google too. Google will help you, you know. I would say do whatever you feel like you have to do. Do different techniques. I would say Google, you know, and don't do anything that tells you to take drugs or anything like that. Like just think it's all about your mind. It's all about your thinking. Because if you're used to bad things happening, then you expect bad things. And when you expect bad things, guess what you're going to get? Bad things. You know, it's all about your mindset. I would say, why don't you do this? I'm going to give you homework. I'm going to be your therapist because I am not a therapist. Why don't you write down everything that you're afraid of? Just write it down. Write it down. And then also write down everything that you would like to happen. What good would you like to see? You know, you could write it like a list. You could do that. I can't answer that question. Yes, I do live in the US. That's why I have this beautiful accent. This New York City accent. And just so everybody knows, I'm Puerto Riqueña, Boriqueña. That means I'm Bad Bunny's sister. Not really, but we're related ethnically. I'm not Indian, just so you know. I'm Puerto Rican. I'm Latina. I know I look like I'm Indian, but I'm not. People told me that. I only answer one question per person, and the fact that I've been harping on talking to you and Pixie about fear and negativity, I think I gave you enough time and energy. Okay? So I gave you homework to do. Okay. Let's see. What time is it? It's kind of early still. 6:50. You're welcome. I'm going by what I've done. Some people need therapy. Some people need somebody to talk to. But I feel like the best way to do it too, if you're not wanting to open up, write in a journal. And then you could write it however you want. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's just a way of you getting it out. Because if you're holding it in here, then it's just going to get worse and worse. You need to release it. Let me see what else I could do. So writing is the best way to do it. Because you could write it down, and then I say write with a pen and paper, not on your phone. It's not the same. It's not the same. Write with a pen and paper, and then after you finish writing down what it is, you could burn it. You could throw it away. You could burn the negative lists, and it'd be like kind of like a ritual. Do it safely though, like where there's a water nearby in case you need to extinguish the flame. But yeah, always be safe when it comes to fire. But you could write it down, and then you could say, I release these fears. Whatever you feel comfortable saying to let it go, and then you could burn the paper, and then it's like, but it's also what you believe, what you hope, and but it's all inside of you. Okay, so I'm gonna start a different reading. Okay, hold on a moment. Thank you. I just needed a little break. Okay, so I'm gonna do a reading, a collective reading. I kind of want to go into this deck. I know I haven't used this deck in a while. I already did the love reading, so Teresa, you're all good. You don't have to worry about love going out. I still have to figure out how to do like a career reading, a career and life purpose reading. I started doing research, but I think I need to look at spreads, even though I don't like doing spreads, honestly. When I learned tarot, I didn't use spreads. It's like I went free willy, Why? I said free will. Yeah, general reading for everyone. Let's see what message comes out. What message comes out for the collective? Let me pause for a minute because I have to. I don't know. I just, when I started reading tarot, it was like more so focusing on the meanings, but then learning how to use my intuition with the cards to see what else came out. But I never really did spreads because I don't know, for some reason spreads to me felt so fixed, and I don't like reading in it like that. I like to read like I don't know if anybody knows about Lenormand. So I read like the way a Lenormand reader would read. So I try to interconnect all the cards. That's why I get different messages. I feel like it gives a broader reading. It's not so fixed, you know. Especially when you're doing a general reading. Okay, let's see. So if, yeah, you see how Lenormand they read, they have a spread. It's not fixed with questions or assigned cards. It's just you could put the cards out and then you could read them in different ways, connect the messages. That's how I would learn tarot myself, and then I was like, wow, that's how they do Lenormand. Then Lenormand should be easy for me. I find Lenormand a little bit more challenging because there's less cards, and I think I need more practice with it. So that's something I could try incorporating too in when I do live streams. So the card that we have is the Bardo. I think L is number 50 in Roman numerals. 50, Bardo. And then also the Sustainer, number 24, the Sustainer. And then let's see what else. I don't know what Bardo means, but I know the Sustainer is someone who tries to maintain something. It's like maintaining the status quo, not trying to make any shifts or changes. It's like trying to keep something the way it is. It's also about maintaining some sort of equilibrium or balance, maybe homeostasis, keeping things the same, not making any changes. But I want to see what the stone card came out, which is number 27. Wait a minute. I always get that mixed up. I'm not even gonna figure out because I know L is 50. That's 10. So is that 67? I think, is that 67? I think that's 67. I could be wrong. All right, let me go get the little book. I have to read it because these cards are still new to me, and I like reading. We take our sweet time learning how to read, right? When we're in school. I want to show you how well I am as a reader. Like literally, like I do tarot card reading, but I like to read books too. The little books. So the Bardo. The liminal, the in-between, the transition. Okay. It is said that the Bardo is a place between this life and the next, a liminal realm through which souls pass. Envisioning this inherently mysterious space creates the potential for us to rise above the concerns of this world and see our relationships through a cosmic and timeless lens. We may receive messages from those who are no longer with us or see visions of lives not yet lived. In the Bardo, there is potential to forgive the unforgivable, to say the unsaid, to see the unseen, to love the unloved, to let go of all things that cause us pain. The Bardo suspends us in its spaciousness for just long enough to open us to higher wisdom. Its energy does not belong to Earth as we know it, but rather to the cosmic network of which we are a single thread. And it says, in the light is spaciousness, grace, forgiveness, and truth. And in the dark is torment, dislocation, hallucination, transience. When transience is like someone it's like an aimlessness. So, and then we have the Sustainer card. I'm gonna go to that card. So I already have like something in my mind. It's about like being in this in-between space, maybe moving away from what you're already used to, whatever you may have created, where you feel safe, where you feel like you just want to maintain something, keep something as it is. But some of you may be having to transition out of something, maybe even out of a comfort zone. But I'm going to read the sustainer card. Okay. The peacemaker, the upholder, the preserver. So it's like you're trying to preserve something. And the light is abundant, generous, supportive, and reliable. And in the dark, it's overworked, resentful, trapped, and tired. The peacemaker, the upholder, the preserver. The sustainer, the second archetype in the trio of existence, works behind the scenes, tending to the tasks of life. They cultivate gardens, pay bills, keep the meals warm, and the mouths sweetly fed. The sustainer is at peace in the process of life, knowing there is no start or finish to humble yet meaningful tasks. They have a natural inclination to nourish others, to archive, to preserve Earth's resources, to consider environmental impact, to see their role in the divine cycle of life. It's common for the sustainer to become overworked, leading to resentment. The tasks aren't glamorous, and therefore the sustainer rarely receives the credit or attention. The sustainer longs to hold things in place so badly, like maintaining things, especially relationships, that they resist necessary change. So some of you are maybe going through some sort of transition that you may be resisting because you may feel like you are okay with where you are, but maybe deep down inside you know there's a change that you need to make, but you've been denying yourself that, or you have been resistant to it. It says, take the time with this archetype. It is within us all and needs our love. So if it makes sense, like if you're, I feel like there's a resistance to change here because you may be okay with the status quo. You're okay with where you are. Probably some of you may be settling, you may be settled into something. You may be holding on to something that has already served its purpose. But yeah, there's some sort of like transition, and it's giving death card energy. Something needs to end, something needs to close out. There's a transition you need to make from one doorway into another. You're leaving something behind to go into something new, something unfamiliar. And let me see what the stone is. The stone. Where is the stone? Right here. The stone. I'm doing a collective general reading, so no guidance. This is a message for whoever it's meant for. It's not for anyone specific. And if I restart the yes or no questions, those are the only questions I'll answer. But if I do that, I will let you know when. Okay, so the stone, the eternal, the anchor, the rock. Some of you may be holding very tightly, maybe very resistant. You may be digging your heels with some sort of change or transition that you need to go through. In the light, it's a steadfast, loyal, committed presence. And in the dark, it's this weighed down, holding back, and cold. And as an archetypal object, the stone holds psychic and literal weight. Its energy is one of permanence, concreteness, and reliability. The stone's ability to transform is nearly imperceptible to us, as it changes ever so slowly over countless human lifespans. A single stone may see thousands of generations come and go. Therefore, it contains an ancient and eternal presence. The stone is best used to anchor our wild side, so no matter how far we roam, we can always find our way back. The stone tethers us to the earth, helping to ground and connect us to stillness, quiet, and peace. When this card appears, it is likely the stone is a remedy that ails us. Humble and easily unnoticed, the power of the stone balances the frenzy of our world. So, like what I'm getting from this card, it's like whatever transition that you need to go through, that may feel like it's maybe a bit chaotic, maybe even scary. You're gonna have to try and take this all in. I think it's about you being at peace with whatever transition you may be entering into. You know, that the wisdom does lie within you, and you have to, whatever that stone is for you, whatever is a grounding force. It could be an actual stone, or it could be a metaphor. This is metaphorical, of course. You know, the archetypes are metaphorical. Um, you, whatever transition that you may be going through, I think it's a matter of you maintaining or sustaining whatever peace you have, or trying to find a way to go through this transition, but kind of remaining unaffected. You know, it mentions like generations, seeing generations. If you think of our ancestors and everything that they went through, and the fact that we even exist is a testament to their strength, right? So it's a testament of your strength. It's a matter of you reconnecting to that while you're going through some process, some ending, some transition in your life, whatever it is connecting to that and allowing it to be a grounding force for you. I think this is also about you continuing to do the things that you need to do while you're going through this transition, not allowing yourself to be like, whatever changes may be coming your way that may seem chaotic or out of your control. Is a matter of you remaining the eye in the storm, you remaining calm and at peace, and remaining grounded, and not ending up like something like a leaf in the wind that's just blowing wherever. You know, it's about you remaining still where you need to, moving with stillness, if that makes sense. You know, but it's more internal stillness, maybe even a bit of stoicism, where you're maintaining your thoughts, your ideas, your feelings, not letting your fears take control over you, grounding yourself, grounding your emotion, grounding your thoughts, staying like it says, it mentions humble, right? Did I mention humble and easily unnoticed? You know, so there's some sort of transition that may be happening within you, some sort of transformation too that's happening, because we do see the skulls here, and I did say death card energy, so we do have a lot of skulls here. So there's definitely something that's coming to a close. Like I said, it's you going through one phase of your life into another, and it could have to do with like your age. Maybe you're entering one age bracket into another. You're leaving one age bracket to go into another, or whatever the change or transition you're going through. It could be moving. It could be even ending a relationship. It could be like moving. Like say you've been living with your parents and you're entering this place where you're like, now you're gonna live by yourself. You know, but then it's like whatever you learned, however your parents taught you how to take care of yourself, take care of your space, how to be responsible with money, how to, you know, all that stuff is like you take that with you and let that be like a grounding force. So you're reminded, like, I know what I have to do. I was taught what I needed to do. I can do this. It's like a believing in yourself. But then it's like whatever the changes are, it's remaining grounded. Don't let the transition shake you in some way. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be different. It's going to be scary, but it's a matter of you remembering your strength, remembering your experiences, also what you have been taught, and letting that be your guiding force as you're going through something that may try to in some way shake you. Something, because you see here there's clay, right? And you know, our experiences can shape us, but it's also if we allow them to, and we get to decide how they shape us. So whatever this transition is, you have a choice in how you allow it to shape you. You know, you could have it like you end up like pieces of clay that's scattered, you know, and broken because of whatever this transition could be, you know, or you could just try to remain as whole as you can. And whatever pieces do fall out, those may be the pieces that you don't need anymore, too. You know, they have served their purpose and are no longer needed in wherever you're entering into. Because it says the stone balances the frenzy of our world. So whatever you can use to ground you, that's something that, and this may not resonate with everybody because not everybody's going through some sort of transition in their life, whatever the transition it could be, whatever the transition could be, because it could be totally different. It could be from being a maiden to becoming a mother. It could be a mother becoming a grandmother. It could be single to now a wife, single to now a husband. Whatever transition, it could be anything. Unemployed to employed, employed to unemployed, you know, homeless to having a home, or having a home to being homeless. Whatever, you know, it could be anything. But it's just remembering to remain grounded as you're going through whatever transition. And hopefully nobody's going to end up homeless. I hope everybody has a home, that they're safe, they're warm, they have the shelter, they have the food, they have everything that they need. I really do hope that everybody's in a good place. I really do. Okay, so let me see. Does anybody... Oh, wow. This card came out. It's the Ace of Cups that came out when I was shuffling. Hi, Jenny. How are you? It's the Ace of Cups. Okay. Let's see. Let's see if we can figure out what this transition could be. Like, it might be very specific to someone. I know some people don't like when I go into these types of readings, but I like them. I like these deep readings. Because sometimes love can seem superficial, you know? Does he love me? Will he call me? Will he marry me? You know, there's more to life than that, you know? And Ace of Cups is like the most important thing is to be loving on yourself too. Definitely taking care of yourself during whatever transition you may be entering into or you may be experiencing, I would say. That'll be a better way of saying it. Thank you, Teresa. But you do have a husband, Teresa. Some of us don't. And I'm joking. But yeah, like, oh wow. For some of you, may be experiencing some sort of transition when it comes to something ending, a painful ending, something that really hurt you, has you feeling alone, depressed, sad, just trying to console yourself, you know? What is this Three of Swords? See, ending. Something ended. Yes, something's ending. Well, tell me, why is the Three of Swords in the world here? What ended? What was the ending? Nine of Wands. I would say, because it's not being very specific, I would say the Nine of Wands is something that you kept trying to make work. Like you kept trying and trying and trying, and you never gave up. You were hopeful, and that's why you continued fighting. You kept, but it always ended up with disappointment, sadness, you being in pain, you know? Being maybe even exhausted, needing to take a rest. Okay. What else? What else? Why is the Nine of Wands here? I think some of you, whatever this was, you try to remain strong. But I think some of you were trying to keep something together that may needed to have ended. that needed to close out. And it probably has already. And you may be reflecting on all the effort that you may have put in that still resulted in an ending for some of you. But right now, this is about you finding a way to find comfort in yourself, to even realize how strong you are, despite the fact that some sort of ending came. And no matter how hard you fought, it still came. But if you look at it, it shows you what you're willing to do for what you want. You know, you're someone who goes after what you want. You don't give up. You don't let your fear control you. You know how to tame your fear. Some of you need to learn how to tame your fear. You know? But some of you may be accepting defeat too. What else? Yeah. This is something that like just had you in your emotions. Something you probably didn't see coming too, because the card came out on its side. But it's something that you may have sensed, something that you may have felt. And yeah, it could have been a subconscious fear that came to life. You know? With the moon card coming out. Why the moon? Tell me more about them. Tell me more about this reading. Like whatever this was, it was something definitely life-changing for you. I got the King of Cups and the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups came out. Remember when I first started shuffling? The Ace of Cups came out, then I put it back in. Yeah, but I feel like right now this is the time for you to be nurturing yourself. Like it says here, you're maybe going through some sort of transition, and it's about you maintaining some sort of equilibrium, remaining grounded. No matter how chaotic everything around you may be, it's about you remaining the eye in the storm, the eye of the storm, being calm. Let the chaos go on around you, but it's like the King of Cups. In the traditional tarot, he's sitting on a rock, and then you see so much water around him, and there's a lot of waves and stuff. But this is about you being emotionally grounded, mastering your emotions, mastering your own emotions, because you're responsible for your own emotions, especially as you're going through this transition. But I feel like on the other side of it, there's going to be success and victory. But like I said, it's a matter of you. Are you going to let the waves take over? Are you going to let them knock you off your rock, off your island, and take you wherever the hell it wants to take you? Or are you just going to be, like I said, the eye of the storm? You know, are you going to get caught up in the currents of the hurricane and drown? Literally? Or are you going to find safe haven within yourself? Are you going to be your stone? Because this is your stone. It's like you're being your own rock. You have to be a rock. Let the changes happen around you. You can see, observe, and allow it to shape you to a certain extent. But remember, this is the shape. Like rocks, you don't really see the change happening. You know, but usually the change is something that's taken a long time, and it's been happening for over time. Like the book says, it's something that you don't see, but it's been happening a long time. And this is something that may have been a long time coming. Excuse me, a long time coming. But I felt like some of you may have been trying to keep it together for as long as you could, but it reached a point where it was time for it to end. What else? What else? What else for the collective when it comes to this reading? Look, this is about, look at the Queen of Cups. And remember I said about, the Six of Wands showed up, right? I showed you the Six of Wands, and that's about success, victory, overcoming battles, challenges, and that's what it's about. But then it's also about feeling free, you know? And you notice here, the King of Cups, he's the master of emotions, right? But when you see the background is different, it's like there's some sort of storm. It's kind of gloomy, but then you see it's brighter now. So this is about you reaching the other side of whatever this transition is. But you're gonna feel it's supposed to. This transition is much needed because it's gonna be removing the burdens, the things that may have been weighing you down, like the stone. There may have been things weighing you down that you need to release, and the storm, the transition that you may is what's knocking all that away. Remember, I was talking about the pieces of clay that may come off as you're going through this transition. Those are the parts that you no longer need. They have already served their purpose. And now it's like you're going to reach this level of liberation where you're going to be feeling free, carefree, weightless, more optimistic, and an emotional, in a really good place emotionally. It's like you're going from this to this. You see? You're going from sadness, grief, disappointment, depression, pain, betrayal to this other part of yourself where you're more happy, full of joy, optimistic, free, at ease. But it could be some sort of manifestation. You know, certain, like something, like we talk about transition and I talk about the death card, and death card is about death, rebirth, transformation. See a lot of butterflies here. So this is something that's needed, but it's going to bring you to a different place where the things that you really want, the things that are really meant for you, truly meant for you, are going to come towards you. So it's a matter of moving away from this negative energy to being in a more positive energy. Remember, I was talking earlier before I even did this reading about negative energy being very heavy and it's dense and it can really taint positive energy because of how heavy it is, you know? Like it's like they say, one negative thing, it will need like 3 positive things for you to get over the negative thing in a way. I don't think that's the ratio or whatever, but it's like to dilute it in a way. Whatever's heavy, like how much. You ever seen those things in where they talk about trauma and then they show like a glass or a pitcher with stained water, and then it shows how much clear water that you have to put into the vessel just to show it diluting, and then eventually the water becomes clear again. So it's the same thing. When you're in the negative energy, you're going to need a lot more positive energy to pour into so that this ends up being diluted and then it becomes clear. You know what I mean? I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, that thing when they talk about trauma. I think they use the picture with the colored water, and then they put the clear water in to dilute it to show how much clear water it would need for you to heal. So it's the same thing with negative energy too. So this is about being hopeful, remaining grounded, stable within yourself, and maintaining yourself, not allowing yourself to fall apart. Even if things seem like there may be things falling apart around you, but you don't have to let it make you fall apart. You know, and maybe there are going to be parts of you that are going to break down, but then they're going to come back together, but not the same. Maybe even better, you know. I split the deck and have the Ace of Wands. So if some of you have lost your passion, that's going to be reignited in you. You're going to be more optimistic, taking more positive, passion-oriented actions. You know, you're going to be focusing on what brings you happiness. You're going to be focusing on what takes you out of a dark place and into the light. You know, it's coming out of the shadows. Some of you like definitely going through some sort of transformation. Now I'm thinking about a butterfly and the chrysalis, you know, coming out. Yes, definitely like the in-between. That's what the bardo is, the in-between, the transition. So this is about overcoming that grief, the sadness, depression, even the loneliness that some of you may feel too. And getting to a better place where you're more at peace with yourself. You feel more grounded, more optimistic, even more brave, more courageous. Okay, so I'm going to end the reading there. Oh, for real? Oh, he's a Taurus. I was just thinking, Teresa, there was a reading I did, and I don't know if it was, I don't know, was your father kind of like a maternal figure to you? Was he like very nurturing and caring, loving towards you, like the way a mother would be? Because I remember I got some sort of message about um somebody's parent wanting them to be happy, wanting them to do everything that they wanted to do, to believe in themselves, and um don't get stuck in the grief. It was something like that. Don't be sad. I'm trying to remember. It was I don't think you were in that live. Because I was thinking I one of the readings I got a message, so maybe it was yours and you just didn't get to hear it, but I'm just reminded of it right now, that they don't want you to have regrets. That's what I'm getting. I don't know if that was your father, but that message came through. I think it was a live I did last week. That message came out, but you weren't there. You weren't in that live, but I don't know if that was meant for you. I don't know who it was meant for, honestly. But don't have any regrets. Do whatever it is that you want. They want you to be proud of the life you lived. They want you to be proud of the life you lived. And I don't know if that could be anybody's message. I don't know if that was Teresa's. I don't know whose message it was for, but it was like a maternal figure that wanted that message to be conveyed. I don't remember what reading it was I was doing, but I think it was last week. Don't have regrets. Make sure you do everything that you want to do, because when you're on your deathbed, you want to be proud of the life you lived. That's the message I remember. Wait, tomorrow is May 8th. I know some people don't like Maytorians, but I know a couple, and they're nice, and they're guys, of course. They're my kid's father, my kid's father's family, and they like, my kid's father was a Taurus, and his brothers are Taurus. So, but they're Maytorians, and they're very good people. I know some people are like, I don't like the Maytorians, but those are good guys. Those are family-oriented men. They will take children from the street and care for them and give them a home type of men, you know? Give you hope type of men. Solid, secure, stable, reliable men. The type of man you will want as a father, essentially. So, let's see. All right. Hi, VM. How are you? Ooh, little burp came up. Oh, I'm so sorry, Teresa. It sounds like your father was a good man. And you're very lucky to have had him in your life. But you know, he's always with you. You know he's with you. Hopefully he's not hiding from you. If he knows you can see. I don't know, have you been in contact with him? That's good that he's still around. He's still around for his little girl. I don't know if he called you that. I don't know why that popped up in my mind, but still around for his little girl. Yeah. His baby girl. Okay. Oh, that's sweet. Okay, wow, I've been on for almost 2 hours. I'm trying to fill this out. I see something. Oh, nice to see you again too, Jenny. I'm glad you're doing well, VM. Okay, I'm gonna answer a couple of yes or no questions. I see Mopar has a question. Okay, well, Devasish Potter receive the money. Well, yes, you could have one more, but it has to be yes or no only. Okay. Yes, VM, only, but it's a yes or no question. Oh, look. I'm glad the message reached you. I'm glad it resonated with you. Okay, let's see. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Easier said than done, right, Teresa? Okay, so Muparn, you got a card. It's saying yes. It's saying yes for your question. And it's funny, it's the money card. So it's saying that yes, it's going to be coming in. May 2026. I hope that helps you. Okay. Let's see. I know you've been talking about the endorsements, I think for like since March, right? I think it was March that you started talking about it, that you mentioned it. Okay, Teresa, when did your father die again? I think you said it was. I think you said it was last year. I could be wrong. I don't. Okay. Okay, in January. Okay. Okay. But his birthday's tomorrow. Okay. Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna answer Snow some question. Does someone think of Snow? Say yes. Snow. It could be somebody that somebody from the past, definitely. They are looking back. I don't know if this is somebody that has lied to you, has been deceptive to you, may have been sneaky, may have been hiding things from you. Or it could be somebody that you just you snuck away from with the Seven of Swords. You know? It could be somebody that was a saboteur or sabotaging or self-sabotaging or saboteur. Someone who may have been dishonest, sneaky, deceptive, maybe strategic. This is what that card represents. They say this is a negative card, but this says that it's really not, depending. But that may resonate with you about who is thinking about you from the past. I don't know if it's a family member or I don't know who it is, but those little, like I mentioned, those little adjectives to describe the person should be able to help you discern who that person may be. I don't know if it's somebody that cheated on you with your 3. It could have been that too. I hope that helps you, Snow. Okay, Snow. Okay. Okay. I wish you luck, Teresa. You know, I think from the readings I gave you and when you were asked questions, it was always favorable. I think the questions were always favorable, showing that you were going to do good with the endorsements and everything. It's seeming like it's time for you to start making the moves, Teresa. Okay, so let me answer VM's question, then I'll answer. You're welcome, Snow. I'm gonna answer VM's question, then Jenny's. Okay. Woo! I'm like crouching. I'm like, I have to decompress. Okay. Okay. Well, is VM's bub coming back? Is VM's bub coming back to VM? To VM. Is VM's bub going back to VM? It's saying yes. It's saying yes. You have a yes card. This has to do with family and legacy, money, generations, stuff like that. But I looked at the bottom of I don't know. Because I know you asked the question yesterday and I cannot remember. I don't know if this is somebody who has a family or you have a family with them or you may have a family with them. But I don't know if this is someone that could have been talking to a lot of other people, playing the field. I don't know what it is. But it's like once that person stops this immature behavior, they may be coming back to you, coming back home, if you had a home with them. But it's saying yes. Take this as it resonates, because I'm not sure how that might be. But I hope it helps. I would say this to you, Teresa, like losing your father was probably like the worst case scenario for you. Probably something that you would never want it to have happened, especially when you feel very close to a parent. But I feel like this may be like I don't know. I want to say this is just something that's gonna like I'm thinking about like strength. This is something that's gonna show you how strong you are. That will probably I hope that's like the worst thing that has already happened that you're gonna go through, and then but there's like good things coming on. There's good things coming, good things on the other side for you. You know, you just have to like push past the discomfort, even like push past the grief. And the grief is like something that's a process. That's something that you're probably gonna always be sad that your father's gone. That will never go away, you know, because you're always gonna want your father there, you know, always be there with you. So I can't say you're gonna heal from that or whatever, because you're always gonna miss him. You're always gonna have that, I wish he was here, those moments where you will wish he was there. But it could also be like a testament of like, okay, you still have your life ahead of you, and what will your father want you to do? You know? What will your father want you to do? Okay, VM. Because I know you're pretty new here, so I can't like I know Teresa, I know the people that have been constant here, so I can't remember. I've connected to Teresa. Yes. Do that. Can you hold on a minute? I can't talk. Minutes, not minutes. I'm back. Okay. You're welcome. Okay. VM, I'm sorry. Oh. All right, so Jenny had another question. So Jenny, your question is gonna be last one, because it's getting time for me to start. Like the energy now is like I'm starting to get tired. Let's see. Oh wow, I didn't even ask you a question, but I'm gonna keep that card there. I want to see I'll see how that relates. Actually, let me put it back. I'm gonna put it back. Just so you see, it's the Hermit card. So let's see if it comes out again, because I didn't really get to ask your question, Jenny. So will Jenny move to another state soon? Will Jenny move to another state soon? Because it's saying no, that you're not going to be moving soon. Why did the Hermit come out? Jenny, what's your sign? I'm just curious. I just need to know if you're a Virgo or something, because that's the Hermit card. Or, okay. Oh, you are? Because the Hermit is a Virgo card. But it's saying no. You're not going to be leaving anytime soon. And I don't know, soon is subjective. I don't know what soon means to you, but I see two. I don't know if it's like 2 months from now. It could be 2 years from now. I don't know what soon means to you, but it could be happening within like two something. It could be 2 months from now or 2 years ago, 2 years from now. But that's so. I was like, oh my God, Jenny, Virgo. I showed it to you, right? I showed the Hermit card. That's the Virgo card. I love that. Yeah, it's not the right time. No, I wasn't sure if that's what you wanted to hear. A VM, I wasn't sure if that's what you wanted to hear. And then you put the sad face. That's why, that's why I said sorry. Okay, so yeah, it seems like it's not the right time. So it may be something that you really need to really think about. Take your time. It's a decision that you have to take your time with, not one that you can rush into. So with the Two of Wands being in reverse, it's like you haven't made a decision about something yet. You haven't taken any action yet. So it's something that you're considering. I don't know if you're still trying to consider where you want to move, like what state you want to move, or what city in a state you want to move to, or like there's things that you still need to consider before you actually take that step. I hope that helps you, Jenny. But yeah, it's looking like it's not it's not the right time. That's why it's not going to be happening anytime soon. So there may be stuff going on that can, if you were to move anyway, there may be a lot of things going on. Okay, okay. Thank you, VM. All right, so I'm gonna end this live stream right now. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for allowing me to read for you, and us having fun at Haitian baby's expense with his glossy, shiny, spread out toe feet picture. Okay. Okay, so the Wheel of Fortune in reverse is not a good thing. I would say that much. So it may not be an opportunity that's meant for you, Jenny. That's what with the Wheel of Fortune is probably not the right job for you, right opportunity for you. And may not be the right move for you because the Two of Wands is about travel. So in the reverse is indicating no travel, or no action. So I thank you all again for joining me. Thank you, Teresa. I hope you have a good night too. Thank you, Jenny, for being here. Thank you, VM. And who else is still here? Let me see. Thank you, Snow, for joining today. I hope you have a good evening or day ahead. Muparn, thank you for allowing me to read for you. Let me see who else. I want to give everybody a shout out. So, okay, and Pixie Gaming, and Arsh, I believe is Arsh. Who else? Yeah, so Shantae, definitely Shantae and Dana, thank you so much for being here. I went all the way to the top. And Harry and Vixen. Who else? Sarah Smile, Carolyn, and Mick. Thank you so much for joining today and liking this live stream. And I hope to see you next time. Have a good one wherever you are. Bye, everyone. Bye, VM. Bye, Jenny.